Welcome, Tip Top Tabletoppers. This week we will do Lion L. Johnson, the Primarch of the Dark Angels. I will choose this head because I like it and it doesn't have too much flesh. I might go for the other one though, I'm not quite sure. But first we change the sprues into sub-assembled parts. And today we will take time to do the legs and the armor. First we prime it in a nice dark black, and then we go and start with Ashen Grey from the Citadel. As you position the Ashen Grey, and you guys can see that, I'm already stepping away from the traditional dark green of the Dark Angels. I want this to be something else. And I kind of want a more ivory kind of armor that has an homage, but will go up quickly. So as you take the Ashen Grey and then layer it up with Administratum Grey, you can see that you already get this sensation of where light will hit. Make sure every brush stroke that you do is deliberate, so that you know where I'm going to place it, where is the light gonna hit. Definitely with the armor and the sub non-metallic metal that you're trying to realize in this position. Just look, where does the light strike the mini, and then just layer up. Make sure that the recesses and the places that don't get light stay dark. Eventually I will go to a sort of dark blue wash that I'll create to get the darkness and truly a shifting in color to get a more colder and cooler feel. But right here we are just doing with the white and the gray. And I like the transition, so I'm trying some wet blending here. Wet blending is technically that you have a wet paint on the mini and then you put some other wet paint and you just, literally blend it while the paint is still wet, creating a more smoother transition between the one color and the other color. It's a technique that is basic, but still not the easiest of techniques to use, in my opinion. But with every technique that we use, trying and failing, trying and succeeding is the entire and only path to go. Just keep trying it until you have that, that effect that you want, that you're looking for, that you're searching for. And I really just wanted to go for a little bit more brighter color there. The highlights, of course, go to white. As you can see here, the edge highlighting is, like always, with the side of the brush, never the tip. Just slowly on, making sure that you touch every part where the light hits as well. Because that's what the edge highlighting is, right? Reflection of light in its purest form. So that's why it's white. You could take an ivory or a pale sand or something like that for it as well. But in this color scheme, I wanted to stay with gray and white. Being white, of course, the most highest highlight. I do apologize for the camera work here. Apparently my camera did not think we need to see this. Just keep doing it slowly and carefully. You don't need to be quick about it. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy tapping all the lines, making sure that the highest points are reflective or white in this case. If you are having troubles with, the depositing of paint on the edges, make sure you put a little bit more paint on it. Maybe a little bit more water so it flows out, but not too much. If you do too much, you get this really blobby kind of paint that doesn't really look nice. So get these nice straight lines with a little bit more paint than water. Try to find whatever substance that works for you, whatever combination of water and paint works best for you. But in my opinion, a little bit more paint and water definitely does the trick. And yeah, that's how it looks when you look at the armor. like I said, I wanted to do something different. So I wanted to make all the shadows a little bit more colder, a little bit more darker. So I took a blue and I really watered it down. So I made it really, really thin. Slowly, carefully placing it only there where the light does not hit. So that means all the black technically that's still on the model and that is an armor, I started to paint up blue. Really thin, really careful. You might be wondering why so thin. You could make it a little bit thicker, but I didn't want it to be blue. I kind of more wanted it to have a blue shine to it. And to get a shine of something, you get more of a wash. And yeah, this kind of is more like a wash. In the end effect, I'm wondering if it was not still too blue, and I should have used even more water. But you can be the judge of that. What do you think? Do you like this effect, or are you more like, I would have liked the black better? I'm in dubio. I don't hate it. I think when I do the cloaks more blue, it might, connect better with the entire model. But at this point, I'm still on the fence. All right, the emblems. We want to go for a more copper rose kind of color. So I'm going to do non-metallic copper. And to do that, you'll start off with a nice dark brown. I must be honest, I took this recipe from Squidmar, who also created the paints, together with Vallejo. And I really love the paints. I love the color of the paints as well. So they get nice on the model. So if you have a couple of bucks to spare and you're like, okay, what paint should I buy? The essential kits from Squidmar definitely worth the value, without a doubt. To go up in color, you take the little bit the red, the burnt red, and again, make sure that you look where would the light hit. What are the upper parts? What is more in light, and start coloring those in. Or if you want to show something a little bit better, if you have an emblem that you really want to make jump out, or something like that, just take the highlight color and start coloring that in, because that is where the eye will be drawn to. Which also means that other parts will be less attracted by the viewer of the model. Now we can go into in complete detail about how the light hits and what objects have what kind of highlighting. But there are hundreds of videos out there that do that. We are just here to enjoy the painting process and to look at a model and to see how I either screw up or make it cute. Again, my apologies for the camera work. I am not yet there that I can make money with this YouTube, so I can't really afford a brilliant setup like the big ones. But if I hit the 500 viewers or the 500 subscribers, I'll definitely invest in something so that you guys can enjoy this painting process or even better. The parts that we use, or at least that I use to make copper, is of course the insignia on the front, the insignia on the side, on the arm. I also did the shield that lays on his foot, as well as the knee emblem that's on there. You'll see that in a second. So everything that in my mind will be a little bit different, I kind of used copper. I'm definitely going to do the same with the cauldrons. The lion shoulder pads. Definitely gonna make them copper as well. I really love this recipe. If you switch to this color, so sunny skin tone, also from Vallejo, make sure you mix it up with the burnt red. In the mixture, as I always do, 25, 50, 75. So first you do a 25 sunny skin and a 75 burnt red, and then slowly level up until you got the 75 red and the 25% sunny skin tone. Every time when you layer a little bit up, just make sure you hit a little bit less. And remember, that's all it's to it. It's just layering. One layer on top of the other layer, making sure you just hit a little bit less and you get a nice transition. If you're doubtful about it, make it a little bit more wet and have it a little bit more transparent. But other than that, it's just layering. Miniature painting isn't that difficult. Just take your time and see what you want to do. But as you can see, you already see this non-metallic shine coming up from even the little bit that I'm doing at this point. And again, make sure you don't forget anything. Make sure you have a nice pointy tip as well, because my tip there has a little bit of paint dried at the front. I should get it off. No, there it is. It's off. So every step a little bit less of the red and a little bit more of the sunny skin tone. You see in the background, I'm mixing up a little bit, getting a little bit more sunny skin tone, a little bit less red, making sure you have a nice transition, because I'm getting a little bit less and less of that eventual high color. Again, getting to the tip, making sure the brush has a nice pointy tip to get this done. And slowly, but gently get to where you want to be. Don't forget, enjoy the process. One of the viewers asked me, how long are you busy with the model? And with this part of this model, so that means everything you see in the video, it took me 3 to 4 hours last night. And it's not a show model. I'm not going to go to shows with it and show it off. If that was the case, I might have done the transitions even smoother. But it's not that. It's a tabletop model. You're going to play with it. So it needs to look really nice, but doesn't have to win the first prize somewhere. And then the final part of the non-metallic copper is just a skinny Suntone. Do the highlights, do everything with straight sunny skin tone. And yeah, that's the model. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. See you later.